All was well and good except for the fact that the shakes gave me horrible gas. Being called Farty McMarchman at work doesn't bode well for personal morale.
Can you imagine someone in your office walking around eating baby food with a spoon, while they're talking to people? Next thing you know, the accounting team, they're all sucking on pacifiers during the budget meeting. And then the CFO is given a town hall in a onesie. I've seen it 100 times.
In lieu of putting a "please don't chew on the pen cap" choking hazard warning on their pens, it would be very difficult to fit on a pen.
I guess.
They have decided to put a hole at the top of the pen cap. So if it does get stuck in your windpipe, you can still breathe. Who's up for a tracheotomy before the staff meeting?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You said this commercial. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It was an egg. And they crack it and they go, "This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs," with the egg frying. Any questions? I'm like, yeah, I got a question. We're going to have some brunch after we're done with the drugs because I'm hungry now. How about throw some bacon in there? Let's have a party. I said, what is going on this weekend? And they said, don't you realize Shrewsbury, PA is the model train capital of the world? It's the model train convention this weekend. And I was like, who goes to that? The cast of A Christmas Story?
This is the Snaggletooth Extreme Metal Podcast.
So we've had a little bit of schedule changes here at the Marchman household, and I don't know why I thought I was going to have more time. All of a sudden, I have less time for everything.
Yep, exactly.
So,
yeah.
But we will be moving into season 4 sooner than later.
Show off your shirt.
So this is our season 4 artwork. Now, how much would you pay?
It turned out great.
Yep.
Check that out. You might recognize that album cover.
Yeah. So this was done for us by the illustrious Mr. Spooner.
Yes, he did. He's the original.
James Spooner.
He's our original artist.
Yeah.
He did all the original Snaggletooth stuff.
He's back for season 4.
Yep.
Love we gave him the idea, but he totally nailed it. Anyway,
so I was thinking about electricity. So it's interesting the way that we like to use electrical terms to describe things. You have a couple of hot dates, and what do we say? We say, you could feel the electricity between us. Or some startling realization, you say, it came like a bolt from the blue. Personally, I think we should take it to the most ridiculous conclusion. If your date is killing the mood, you could say, Catherine, you're really being an insulator tonight. Or if someone asks you how your wife and you are getting along, you just say, she's incredibly well-grounded,
Even just daily vernacular. What do we say when we're surprised? I was shocked.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody.
Well, unless you're enraged.
Yeah, unless you're enraged. But getting hit by lightning, I always worry about this stuff. When we're running and a storm breaks out. Yep. Oh, that's some scary stuff. I mean, nobody wants to get hit with something like that. Unless you're sending a DeLorean back to 1985 or you're bringing Frankenstein's monster back to life. But, daily life.
I don't think that qualifies as everyday life.
Their situation seems incredibly likely.
No, I don't think so. Maybe.
People always love to say that Ben Franklin invented electricity. I'm pretty sure it was already there.
You're pretty sure.
He just risked his life to prove it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the neighbors? Crazy Ben's at it again, flying a kite out there in a thunderstorm. What's next? He does things to such extremes. Soon he'll be chopping salad with a guillotine. Yeah. Boy, that poor head of romaine is sentenced to the death. What a shame.
What did that let us ever do to you? Speaking of inventions, I was talking with some friends about some crappy investments, bad appliances that they bought on Amazon that didn't quite work out the way they were supposed to. They're talking about like toaster ovens that burst into flames, or those Roomba vacuum robots that just kind of get stuck in the corner. We've done pretty well with the appliance I've gotten. My only complaint is with that time machine I got last year. Seemed like it worked fine sometimes, but then sometimes it didn't work so well. Like last time it went out, I was unfortunately stuck in 1863. I had to go to work for the blacksmith to get enough money to kind of find my way back here.
That's when you showed up with all those crazy burn scars. I was wondering.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was thinking about those life lesson after school specials from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, I remember.
Do you remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
After sweating through a biology test, getting hit on by some mouth breather leaning up against your locker and missing the bus so you had to walk home. Who wouldn't want to curl up and watch a show about the perils of smoking in a delightful after-school special?
They knew us so well. Yeah.
And there was nothing special about these. How about, the ones on the perils of drug use? Or my personal favorite, STDs. Don't have sex.
Yep.
These shows have the opposite effect for me. I always watch to find out more information about the degenerate acts. Oh, so that's what getting to second base means. I was too embarrassed to ask when they were talking about, getting to second base. Or, oh, wow, now I see how a bong works. You have to put the lighter. I got it now.
Exactly.
They always have such great titles like Can a Boy Say No? Stoned or Tough Girl. I remember one terrifying one about this teen that contracted AIDS, and I think I never watched one again. It was terrifying. They had this poor girl who decided to have unprotected sex her first time. It ended up with HIV, and it was death sentence back then. But did that stop us from having unprotected teenage sex and cars parked in where they were building homes? No.
Definitely not.
No, it did not.
Definitely not. You said this commercial. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It was an egg, and they crack it, and they go, "This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs with the egg frying. Any questions?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got a question. We're going to have some brunch after we're done with the drugs because I'm hungry now. How about throw some bacon in there? Let's have a party."
Salt and pepper too tasty.
Absolutely. So we talked about crazy fad diets in one of our last shows. How about this one? The grapefruit diet. After you get done with your regular meal, you eat a grapefruit, and that will help you burn body fat, supposedly. Obviously, this was a diet sponsored by the California Grapefruit Growers Society. Why not throw some kale in there while you're at it for a real taste treat? Yum.
I think the key to that one was after you ate the grapefruit, you had that taste in your mouth. You didn't want to eat anything else.
That's true.
How about this? And I tried this back in the day when it was super popular, the Carnation Instant Shake Diet. You drink a shake for breakfast, one at lunch, and then eat a sensible dinner. All was well and good, except for the fact that the shakes gave me horrible gas. Being called Farty McMarchman at work doesn't bode well for personal morale.
You might as well go ahead and eat something.
And the other problem with that is they just kind of leave you on your own for the sensible dinner. Who knows if that means, when you only had 2 shakes all day, you're going to, be eating a whole piece of pizza.
No, an
entire pizza.
Eat an entire pizza, yeah. How about the cigarette diet? Lucky Strike actually had an ad campaign, reach for a strike instead of a sweet. The good old days when cancer sticks were a better choice. Pretty sure Rod Sterling got behind that ad. I mean, there is a 5th dimension. One not only of sight and sound, but of smoke. At the signpost up ahead, your next stop, Jimmy's Smoke Shop and a pack of Luckies. That man did everything smoking. How about the baby food diet? Eat tasteless, spice challenge, pureed toddler food out of a jar for breakfast and lunch, and then graduate to real food for dinner. Blech. Can you imagine someone at your office walking around eating baby food with a spoon, while they're talking to people? Next thing you know, the accounting team, they're all sucking on pacifiers during the budget meeting. And then the CFO is given a town hall in a onesie. I've seen it 100 times.
Baby food is really gross. I had to eat it at a couple baby showers where they had the game where they, you had to guess what the flavor was. And most often you couldn't guess anyway. It was horrible, except maybe banana. Our feature interview this week is with the one and only Adam Tranquilli of the classic New Jersey thrash band Blood Feast.
Oh, yeah.
We have a great chat with Adam about the making of their exciting new record, Infinite Evolution, as well as soldiering through lineup changes, learning to handle vocal duties as well as guitar, and what it was like to be on the new Renaissance label. So stay tuned for that.
Okay, this is a song that we used to get fired up Friday nights before we would go out in college. This song is from Blood Feast's classic 87 album, and it's called Kill for Pleasure. Okay, let's talk about Patreon. The site is patreon.com/Snaggletooth podcast. And for $6.66 a month, you get an overflowing bird soup bowl of Mark and Stace.
Yeah, maybe at one point we'll even have our new artwork t-shirts available for sale. You never know.
Could be.
Also, for less than you spend when you go out to lunch, much less, unless you're buying at 7-Eleven.
Yep.
You can support this show help keep us going.
Tons of bonus material that you can't find anywhere else.
Yeah. And you'll really like to get into the reviews that we do up there.
We've been plowing through the Thin Lizzy catalog. The good, the bad, the ugly. Yep.
So we're going to keep going with that. I'm going to think up some good, I might have to do, I just got an ice cream maker. So I might have to do a little demonstration of that. It was actually pretty easy.
Somebody's birthday present. Yeah.
Really. I made
Looking forward to hot pepper ice cream.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I just decided to go. I only made one alteration to the recipe. I added coffee to peanut butter ice cream. So
anyway, check us out on Instagram. Don't forget to follow this channel so you don't miss a single wacky episode.
Yeah, and we didn't do a live stream today because things have been kind of goofy in the Marchman household this week. Been kind of strangely busy. But normally we do live streams when we do go to shows, which is going to be a while before we hit another show. But we do live streams. We have live streams up there from Maryland Death Fest from this year, and a lot of the other shows that we went to, Tomb Mold. So you could check it out because it's always up.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, let's talk about some more exotic foods.
So I don't know if you've heard of haggis.
It's in Highlander.
It is.
It's in Highlander, yeah.
But in case you missed it, it's a traditional Scottish delicacy made from sheep heart, liver, and lungs, mixed with onion, spices, oatmeal, and salt, served horrifyingly encased in the animal's stomach.
Yummy.
Even regular eaters of the stuff say it is a taste that takes a little getting used to.
Okay.
You know, the U.S. banned it in 1971. I think they just did it because it was gross and something about livestock lungs aren't food. It's such a shame as the Panera people are obviously looking to add this to their lunch menu.
It would fit right in with the lobster bisque, I think. How about this Kinder Surprise chocolate egg? The surprise here is that the item hidden inside is not edible at all. It's a plastic toy. There's nothing that brings joy to a child's heart like a toy he has to spit out. Merry Christmas, little Johnny. Oh, by the way, time for a Heimlich maneuver.
What brings such festiveness to the holiday? No wonder that one was banned. So another banned item, sadly, you won't be able to get this at Panera either, is bird nest soup.
Oh, damn.
Who doesn't get a hankering for a good bird's nest full of meat? It's such a great meal full of feathers and poo and grass. So the hardened bird saliva acts as a thickening agent. Ugh. Think like the thickness of egg drops.
This is making the haggis sound pretty good, actually. So.
Weirdly, it does not have a lot of flavor, making me wonder why you would bother, since it ups your risk of getting a bird-borne flu significantly.
The nest itself cooks down in an overcooked kind of spaghetti consistency, and it's damn near indigestible. Popular in Asian cultures, and it comes to me as no surprise that this is the land where COVID came from. Yeah.
Yeah. Coincidence? I think not.
No.
You know, odd as it may seem to us fat asses here in the United States, there are food staples that we buy every day that are banned by other countries. And this is true, and it may surprise you.
Yep.
Coffee Mate, Ritz crackers, and those warm, buttery Pillsbury biscuits are banned in Switzerland, Austria, Hungary, Iceland, Norway, and Denmark.
That's where all the good-looking people are.
Because of the amount of trans fats like partially hydrogenated soybean and cottonseed oils. I think they banned it mostly because they've seen how fat the people are, especially in the southern US, and they want to avoid the diabetes factor. This is why Scandinavians can fit in those skinny suits and we're all waddling around in sweatpants and yoga pants.
That's right. Me and P. Diddy. So, what would be your guess at how many people die by accidentally swallowing a pen cap?
3.
In the United States alone, 100 people annually lose their lives to this curious habit.
Wow.
It reminds me, you ever go to borrow someone's pen and they've chewed the top until it looks like a deformed raisin? It's really gross. And the little shirt clip part is completely indecipherable. Is anyone using the little clippy these days? You know, we pencil pocket protecting in 2024. I always think, dude, maybe try a stick of gum to work out your obvious oral fixation, or pick up some dog chews at PetSmart. Maybe you could gnaw on a little rubber pork chop at your desk, you know? Gotta find something to do with that.
You know, not interestingly, Bic pens.
We specialize in not interesting. Yeah.
I guess in lieu of putting a please don't chew on the pen cap choking hazard warning on their pens, it would be very difficult to fit on a pen.
I guess.
They have decided to put a hole at the top of the pen cap. So if it does get stuck in your windpipe, you can still breathe. Who's up for a tracheotomy before the staff meeting?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I imagine it still has to come out. You can't water. That's got to be uncomfortable. Did you know there are pen addicts and entire conventions and pen shows?
Wow.
I discovered we recently had one in Baltimore. I was kind of glad I missed. But they have neat throwbacks to books on the forgotten art of cursive. They don't even teach that in elementary school anymore. Calligraphy and other ancient practices. I mean, may as well throw in hieroglyphics. And they had fun vendors with names like Penquisition, which sounds so interesting. I clicked on their website, but it was sadly very disappointing and, quite frankly, one of the most boring hobbies I've ever encountered.
Didn't expect the Spanish Penquisition. Yeah. I used to work for the small town in Pennsylvania, right? And I remember I had to set up a meeting. We had some out-of-town visitors, so I had to get them hotel rooms. And for this particular weekend, it was like everything was booked. Everything was booked. Everything was booked. So finally, I asked one of the front desk people, I said, what is going on this weekend? And they said, don't you realize Shrewsbury, PA is the model train capital of the world? It's the model train convention this weekend. And I was like, who goes to that? The cast of A Christmas Story? I mean, what the hell,
My dad had the engine, the big heavy engine that would blow smoke, and back in probably the 60s and 70s, he bought all the plastic bill. He had the gas station, the school, the hospital. He would drag this stuff out at Christmas time. He would make the paths with sawdust were the roads. But eventually, when the kids got older and he wasn't getting it out anymore, he decided to sell it. Because that original plastic bill furniture was in such good shape. I mean, all the buildings and stuff. I mean, we even had the light poles that you could run the light through. And he put it away every year in its original packaging. It literally started a bidding war. We had to fight people off our front lawn that were interested in this stuff. It's crazy.
My father stopped putting out stuff like train gardens because my brothers and I would rewire it and start fucking with my mom's bathroom lights or something.
Oh my God.
We bastardize everything. So anyway, let's play a song.
All right. Getting back to the music. This is Blood Feast with Ravishing the Loins of Mary.
Okay, let's talk about Hum Nutrition.
So Hum Nutrition have long been a sponsor of the show. Mark and I use their supplements every day.
When we remember to take our pills.
When we remember to take our pills, which are always good.
Yep.
We love the gummies, and this is a new line for them. This is celery juice fiber gummies. So you don't have to worry about juicing or eating kale. Just take a gummy. It's so much easier and tastier. We also love the apple cider gummies. So this is much easier than taking that shot of apple cider and having to do the bitter apple cider face. Just take one of these. They're yummy. It goes down right with all of your other stuff. Recently, we added the best of berberine. This kind of helps boost your metabolism. Of course, you still have to eat sensibly, not the whole pizza, and diet. But this will give you the edge to put you over if you're stuck kind of on a little plateau. Also, a new product, this is Counter Cravings, also a good metabolism booster and to keep you from eating stuff you shouldn't, unless, of course, you drank 3 glasses of wine and then all bets are off. This is new for them, Collagen Love. If you're a big proponent of slathering creams on your surface, as a previous Estee Lauder rep, let me tell you, the stuff out here is already dead. So what you want to do is treat it from the inside out. So the beauty comes from the inside out. This is collagen that's going to actually get to those layers that are alive instead of slathering stuff on things that are dead.
Well, she's so qualified.
Yeah, we learned a lot about that in esthetician school. If you also every week, every order, if you want to try a product, this is a daily cleanse to kind of help clean up your toxins out of your system. You can ask them to throw in a sample, and it's very generous. They have like 4 or 5 pills in here, so you can really try it before you buy. So use our link. It will save you off your first order.
Okay. It's time for Wax of Contrition. And this week, we're going to talk about Funerot's album, from 2010, and Then You Fucking Die, Man.
An all but forgotten outfit from the Pacific Northwest. Shoreline, Washington's Funerat were only active for about 8 years in the early noughties, but they showed a knack for writing witty and catchy thrash that swirled with a punk attitude and a morbidly wicked sense of humor. The type of band that puts out a bevy of splits and demos and even a live album, Contamination Suite, live on KAOS 89.3 FM back in 2005, before ever releasing the full length.
That's cool. Fucking Die is their second album, following 2006's equally interesting Invasion from the Death Dimension. This album is a stripped-back, no-holds-barred, crossover thrash specimen, 14 short songs, each only a couple of minutes long. One look at this cartoony album cover and the unusual title, and I just had to drop this one into the cart. I guess the best way to describe it is like a combination of Whiplash, Power and Pain era, speed metal, spiced up with the occasional dueling 70s guitar worship a la Drunk Horse or The Fucking Champs. Very interesting. Not a combination you see every day, and it makes for a very entertaining listen, to say the least. Let's check out a song called AD. Okay, returning with more Funerat.
Cuts Like Living or Dying and Bah, You Live in a nail that maiden on 45 speed approach of early thrash classics from 84. But the guitar tandem of Benjamin Moore and Dan Monroe aren't afraid to show off some Lizzie-inspired hoedowns. Late to Rest is a groovy example, or even an acoustic piece spiced up with bongos in The Way Out. Their prior album, Invasion from the Death Dimension, was a little heavier, but when this one sacrifices in heaviness, it makes up for with campy, exceptional guitar and general goofiness. This is the type of band that could cover Slayer's Antichrist and Kiss's Black Diamond in the same show and walk away without a scratch. Always thought it was a shame these guys broke up shortly following this release, but they are still mentioned from time to time by wizened thrash connoisseurs. Ghoul even covered one of their songs in their last album, so the legend lives on.
Okay, so this song is called Washed Out. Okay, we want to introduce the interview?
This is our interview with Adam. What a great guy. They were obviously about to have band practice. They've been doing a lot of social media stuff. If you haven't checked out this album, please do. This is such an amazing bit of thrash, and you should definitely add this to your collection.
Absolutely. So take it away.
And it sounds like you guys have been super busy.
Super busy.
Stalking you on social media. It sounds like you always have new posts and lots of festivals.
We're trying, thanks to CJ and Dave. They're really the ones that are out there with social media mostly.
Yeah.
So I have a little presence. Adam doesn't have any, but mine's kind of too. Yeah. So
it's tough these days because you constantly got to have some kind of content and
like always, and personally, I mean, I don't have time. I'm so busy with work and family and everything.
Right.
And I'm driving all the time too, which drives me nuts. But yeah, so it leaves you a little time, so.
Yeah, like we had somebody commented on our YouTube channel the other day, one of the shows, and goes, the algorithm is recommending your show. I hope I've made the right decision. I'm thinking refunds in the back if you don't like it. What the hell?
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't cost you anything,
Yeah. It's like
ridiculous.
There's the radio show over there too. You can go to that one too.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you right off the bat, like when I was in college, my freshman year, Kill for Pleasure was the first song that we put on when we were gearing up to go out on Friday night. That was part of our when we were going to go hell raising, you know,
Oh,
that was our,
wow.
that was the first song when we were getting dressed and getting ready to go out. Yeah. So
nice, fun.
yeah.
Yeah, that was tell you a little bit about where I'm at right now. Our studio we're in is our Kill for Pleasure was born in this studio all those years back, and actually very room is where the demo was recorded.
Oh, awesome.
So all those years ago, you know. So and yeah, it's coming out on vinyl. CJ just said the demo back then. But yeah, it was good. It's fun, right?
Well, tell me about, how did you guys get picked up by New Renaissance back in the day? What was that like? Did you deal with Anne from Hellion or anything? Or
yeah, that Kevin was dealing with Anne back then. I was real limited with that with her, but yeah, he dealt with it. But I guess I think it started with the speed metal hell and thrash metal attack.
Oh, yeah.
Compilations. And then she was like, oh, you know, you got a good response from that. And she was like, all right, you know, let's do an album. So put together. They didn't give us much of a budget back then at all, or any support past that. But
yeah,
she got the album out, I guess.
Well, they had really good distribution because I saw New Renaissance records everywhere, you know, at least in Maryland, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know across the country, but I thought they had really good distribution, you know.
I forget the what was it called? The distributor back then. I just remember they were in New York, just Jamaica, you know, but I forget
I can't remember.
Was back, but that's who she had. Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of people trash Ann, but at the same time, she got his out.
She's a lawyer now, isn't she?
Yeah, I think civil rights lawyer, I believe.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't talked to her. You know, we've been out. We went out to California. I always send a note like, "Come on to the show," you know.
Yeah.
Come out. You know, I'll sit with you. I don't care. You know, I mean, you know, why not? You know, and I got nothing to hide from her, and you know, but she never comes out. You know. And,
I got the impression that you were like their flagship artist, kind of, because
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. You were like their Slayer because it was like they would have like new release, reissue of Blood Feast, new release, another reissue of Blood Feast. It seemed like you were their kind of their linchpin artist.
I think so. I think at that time we were. Yep.
Yeah.
And then later on too. I mean, Uchi actually got a battery for a little while, right? And who else? Well,
it was that there were. It was what's it? At War.
Yeah, yep. At War.
And In Destroy.
And I love that album.
That's a really the first one. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Yes, that's the only one I know. You know, funny story. I was in Denmark in '94, and I'm in this club, and I'm like, what the hell are they playing? They were playing In Destroy. It's the first time I ever heard it. You know? I was like, oh my god, I didn't even know anybody knew it. You know, but I love the album. It was really great. So.
That's great. But, yeah. Oh, Wehrmacht.
Wehrmacht. Yep.
Wehrmacht.
Now with them, and where the heck were we? In Peru. It was Peru. With Wehrmacht. Yeah. That was a crazy night.
And then you had that band called Child, CHYLD. I love that record. That was really good.
I know that one.
Yeah, it's a little more obscure, but it was really good.
Yeah. And
I think she started the label to try to, because she couldn't get signed, and I think the label did better than the band did ultimately.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right. And then I know she sang with Dayton. We just played a show at Rage Armageddon in New York.
Yeah.
And she filled in for the girl Robin who died too. So.
Oh, okay. Sure.
For a while, but I haven't heard from her at all. Like I've even sent notes or something to. I get no response. So we just had to keep going on our way. Without anything from her. So
was she the one who, or why did you change your name from Bloodlust to Blood Feast? How did you kind of change over?
That was because on Metal Blade had a band Bloodlust already.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
And we were young knucklehead kids back then too, and they're like, because Metal Blade was interested in us back then too, and then they're like, but you got to change your name because we got a band Bloodlust already, and we were stupid kids. We're like, we're not changing.
Blood Feast is better. Blood Feast is better.
Yeah, Yeah. Ultimately, it came out better. So, but eventually we changed it, and then then we came up with that new Renaissance. But then later on, I got to play with the band Bloodlust too, and meet the guys.
Oh, cool.
And we've also played with us. I think Steve Gaines, his Anger is Art. That's all they're Bloodlust guys, and friends with them now. So California band, but
we had Sabatini from Attacker on the show back in June. He said you guys did some shows together. How did that go?
Oh, it's always fun playing with Attacker. We did our record release party together.
Yeah.
And stuff. So it's fun. We've been in Germany with them. I love playing with them, because the little contrast is good too.
Yeah.
And so I always love playing with those guys. And back in the day when Bloodfeast started,
they were on Metal Massacre 5, I think.
Yeah, were they? Yeah.
It was funny because Mike had kind of a crappy internet connection. So I would ask him, like, how did you get on Metal Massacre 5? And he would go to tell me and he would freeze. And I'd be like, oh. Like, he had the best stories, but it was every time he would start to tell one, it would lock up. And it was like agony. We were like,
Did you get back to him and like redo it?
Well, we've been doing this long enough that we just hung in there till we had it, but
a little bit of editing.
Sometimes you have that though. It's really weird. Like, we'll have a Zoom call with two guys from Hungary and it's fine.
Oh yeah.
Crystal clear, but Ohio will be like a nightmare. You never know.
Yeah. Sure. Absolutely. I've been in the middle of the desert and had an amazing signal. And I get like in my town back in the day. I hit the road for a signal, and I was like,
yeah. You never know.
So we loved this album. I was so glad, when you kind of came back together in 2014, and then then now this is kind of the bam bam slam dunk double punch. So you kind of released the title in 2022. So how much of the album was written at that point?
Oh, pretty much all of it. It's taken years. Yeah, actually 2022. Yeah, all of it was written back then. It's taken years to get this album out. It was done a long time ago, and then we went through changes, with losing Chris as a singer, and and then Tom too, and that was like for recording, and it just wasn't right. So I waited until we had the right configuration to get this done. So it took a long time. So it finally came out. I'm like, oh my gosh.
How was it easy for you to like pick up singing and playing together, or was that a hard transition?
I've done it before, and I had a band Headlock back in the day, and there's a band Last Remains I had. Well, Last Remains I wasn't singing all, but we turned to Headlock, and then I had a band Without End at the time too. So it was just getting back to it because I haven't done it.
Okay.
And you know what? To tell you the truth, is like I wish that I had done it 30 years ago or more. And I didn't. Like it could have been different too. I know. I mean, I wouldn't have Gary, but
it can't be easy singing his stuff because he had that kind of Paul Bailoff wildness to his vocals.
I think the old stuff's actually easy to sing, kind of.
Really? Oh, interesting.
I mean, the response I've gotten to is like they're like Paul Bailoff. You sound like Paul Bailoff. I don't know if you get that, but
yeah, exactly, yeah.
But or Jeff Becerra, they were saying that I sound like. So but Gary, I think it's just all it is really is organic thrash metal singing. That's it. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's vocals. I'm vocals.
Yeah.
I'm not vocals.
Yeah.
So
I was reading this interview with Dave Mustaine. He was talking about Bailoff, and he goes, oh yeah, Bailoff had a much rougher childhood than me, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, why? I don't know.
Rougher than Mustaine's up, Good Lord.
I don't know his story. He had a real bad childhood.
I don't know either. I mean, but for him to say that, good God, must have been fucking horrible,
Yeah. Well, yeah. But Gary's here. We asked him to, if he wanted to come, but he's not interested. He had fun coming. We sang. He came with us for 2 shows.
Yeah.
And then we're hoping to actually he doesn't know it yet. We're going to ask him is for next year's Rage of Armageddon in New York that he comes out and either sings a couple songs or does something with. People would love that, So we'll see if we can get that.
I like both styles, but I kind of prefer yours. Sometimes he can be a little over the top, and you just
a
see
little,
Harry? Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. I would say we've had Chris, but I'm the closest to Gary then, just because it's organic thrash thing. So yeah, I love singing. We're actually going to record a couple of them that because the original recordings didn't do some of the songs justice, at least recording wise. In time,
I know budget and all.
Yeah. Now we have in-house recording, so we're all good. So, is
that like what's some of the? I mean, I know it sounds like it's easier to get a good sound now, but what are some of the things in the, making an indie record now versus back in the day? Like, what are some of the things that are good, better, and different?
Well, I think back in the day we were using 2-inch tapes. Now we're doing digital.
Yeah.
And good or bad, we'll just say. I don't know, but the convenience is amazing, and it's right on a computer. You know what I mean? And the whole thing's there instead of having $1 million board in front of you.
Right.
And we know us having CJ is convenient with time, as well. But back in the day, you would spend days and days in the studio. Even for Kill for Pleasure, we spent so much time doing that, and it sounds horrible, and you know what? The studio was like $1 million studio, and I go, even if you came in with a bad budget, right? A really bad budget, like just even doing it live, wouldn't you think you would get a lot better sound than that from $1 million? You know what I mean? But
yeah, I loved it. I love the production on that record. I think it's great.
The bad production is half the charm too.
Well,
but and we were young kids, and some of the timing was all wacky. Now we're better all now because we're older. But so the difference, and there's technology. It's today's. It's easier. You don't need $1 million. $1 million.
Yeah.
And all this racks of gear and tons to get good sounds.
Yeah.
So
I think it's every band thing. I mean, Joe Perry, I read an interview with Joe Perry. He hates the sound of the first Aerosmith record. He says it sounds like dog shit.
Right.
Like, the one with Dream On, really?
Yeah.
But again,
yeah.
In his mind, what the band sounded like was way better than that, and I get that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as we've gotten older, too, technology comes along, and recording gets better. And better. You're a better musician. You're older. Everything's just seems better. But what the hell was I gonna say? What the hell was I gonna say? I forget. I lost my fucking train of thought. But it's
you guys were so young back then too. Were you in your early 20s when you made the record?
Late teens. Yeah. I think
wow. Yeah. See.
Yeah.
I mean, like people tell you, adults tell you, oh, it sounds good, and you believe them, right?
Oh, I know. There's a lot of things that sound like Kill for Pleasure. It sounds not great, but we love it. I do. I mean, I like it too. And there's a lot of other music I have that are the same way, and it's bad recordings, but we all love those old demos, right? They're all great. We love those, and they sound perfect, right?
Yeah.
Even in their imperfection. And it's like an old record. You put a record on, and they go they're like, that's the quality's not there, and you go, it sounds like a record. It sounds what it's supposed to sound like, right? It's supposed to
raw thrash.
Put an album on, and it sounds like a record, and you're like, that's what it's supposed to sound like that. So,
what kind of happened with when you guys did The Last Remains, and you really didn't think the production was good? What was so horrible about it?
The album. That was we recorded it actually twice, and then for whatever reason I don't even know, but and then I just had enough with those guys, and I had to go. So that's when we split up, and I left, and they redid it again without me and called the Chopping Block Blues. That's it, but I have it released, as Last Offering before the Chopping Block, and that's available on but that is the true second album,
Right.
But I took one song off it though, which was we did a cover of Black Diamond by Kiss. Everybody back then was starting to do covers, and I'm not a cover guy, but the guys wanted to do it, so I did it with them. And but it turned out Lenny Kravitz ended up singing backup vocals for us on that.
No way. How did that happen? Wow.
Isn't that a crazy story? Like, for real. And because he was in the studio, he was in the same studio recording his very first album, and he heard us playing it in a version of it. And he was like, wow, that's awesome. I love Kiss, So he was like, let me, and then the engineer Doug was like, oh, come on in, let's sing, do some backups. Wow. And they did them, and they were horrible. Oh my God, I had to take it off, And so I took that song off. I just couldn't stomach it. I couldn't do it. It was really bad, But other than that, but that's the true second album. And if you listen to it, you listen to Kill for Pleasure, Face Fate, and then boom, I call it The Last Offering. Those three, those sound the way they're supposed to.
Gotcha.
Where we did it was Kill for Pleasure, Face Fate, and then did Chopping Block Blues, and that sounded different. A lot of people are like, "Oh, that album sounds different." They tried to do a little different direction, and that's the least received album of the three. But those three were sound. That's the sound that you're talking about, like the first album. That's you love the sound of Face Fate or whatever. And Last Offering is fits perfect right in there. Yeah. It's a $1 million studio, Lenny's first album, whatever. It probably sounds amazing, right? And then here, the Blood Feast comes out the same time, and you hear it, even though the budget's completely different. Geffen Records, but and we couldn't mention him because he was like, I just signed to Geffen. I can't be on any of her albums, So, and it had to come out sounding the way it did. You would figure it would sound a lot better than that, but
yeah. Wow, that's a great story.
And then the engineer, we saw there was this guy, Doug. His name was Doug. We found like it was probably like around, I don't know, 5-8 years ago or something like that. He got locked up for robbing a bank.
Oh wow.
I was like, what the heck? Yeah. Unbelievable, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Funny.
You
never know. Yeah, you never know. Wow.
No.
Yeah, you never know with people the way things are gonna go. It's like I'm shocked on a daily basis, it seems like.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I couldn't believe what happened with Jane's Addiction. I was like, wow.
Oh,
now all of a sudden he's crazy.
Right. I was like, was that staged? I was like, the day before that, nobody was talking about Jane's Addiction. Now everybody's talking about Jane's Addiction. I don't know,
Yeah.
That's just silly, but I didn't give it too much thought. I was just thinking.
So I'm a big fan of your cover art. The
blue guy.
Does he have a name or a backstory?
On the TV behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love this album. It's once again, Drew Elliott, he's been our guys, for all the albums. So
but he doesn't have a name like Eddie or anything like that.
Freddie.
Okay, got it.
So we got to get Freddie a girlfriend and a backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's like we interviewed
Donnie
from Riot, and he gave us the whole story of the Seal, and the new album's the Seal's got a girlfriend.
Oh
yeah.
No, he just got his buzzard there. There's always the buzzard in every picture.
Okay.
He's on the album cover somewhere.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him on stage behind you.
Yeah.
Do a little warm.
Yeah, that looks awesome behind. I'll cover up on the screen.
So Dave Kramer is one of your newest members. How did you come to work with him?
Well, after we let Tom go, then we ended up with Dean Rispler. His name is. He's from the Dictators, and I don't know if you know them.
Yeah.
Yep. And he was playing with them, and he was friends with some people, and they were like, "Oh, here's Dean." And we tried him, and I was like, "Oh, I was blown away. That guy was incredible. Like best bass player I've play with. He was just amazing. And we did the Red Dragon Festival in Tijuana with him, and that was really great. And but we knew that he wasn't in for the long haul, so he was just like temporary. But I'd still take that time with him. I'm so happy. But he knew Dave, so he passed the name along to Dave, and Dave came about. And Dave just walked in too. We got all the guys here, so they're all here now. So they're in the other room.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, but so we have Dave now, and Dave is amazing. Dave's a great guy. He fits right in with us, perfect too, and so and he's hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good. Yeah.
So what's kind of the difference between the album title Evolution and kind of the track is Evolution? Is there a difference in definition?
Not really. I just it was just when I wrote that song, it's kind of, that's my little tribute to Dio, just to myself, because I love that song from Dio, and so that was just the reason I gave it that title. But that's it. Nobody really even knows that too much, but that was, yeah, I'm a big Dio fan, so and that's really it. But but Infinite Evolution, it's always changing. Everything. This party is not gonna last forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something always changes in life. So
I think we all saw that during the freaking pandemic. I mean, it just was crazy for so many people. I figured Outbreak was no doubt COVID inspired.
Yeah.
So how did you guys fare during that time?
Oh, we took 3 months off for playing, because we rehearsed, because we like to play, and we took 3 months off, and that was it. We played all the time. No, I didn't miss a day of work. I was still out there. I work outside, so
Gotcha.
I didn't. Not a lot changed for me in that way, just because I was constantly working and I'm too. But that's it. I got a lot of friends they had the greatest time ever. But because they were off all the time. Everybody was off and getting paid. And they were like, all right, this is the best time ever. But me, I'm still working and writing songs at the time too. So it kind of gave us, I read songs, so I was busy the whole time. So we weren't out doing shows. That's the only thing. But I still love getting together with the guys and playing, and we have fun doing that. So
Hell's Headbanger seems like a good label. Have they been pretty good label to work with?
I think that they've been great. I don't have complaints.
These guys seem to get it.
Yeah, they make the best product ever.
Yeah, their hearts are in it. You can tell. You can find the stuff easily online.
Yeah,
they don't overprice. It's a good label.
Available around the world, and
yeah, it's good.
Yeah, they're easy to work with. You know what I mean? We got So we like it.
Who had the idea for the video for Outbreak? I love it. It's like, who are the people on the outside? What were they smearing?
Oh, that's a couple of friends of ours. That was we did that in my garage. And a couple of friends out there smearing blood all over them, and then they were stabbing too with knives too.
Oh yeah.
Did you use like prop blood or did you make it?
Yeah, the guy made blood. It was like soap and some other stuff. So we put down a lot of plastic and yeah, it was good.
That's good times.
Yeah, it was good. We had a lot of fun doing it.
I like your apocalyptic themes, like ravaging the loins of Mary.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. That makes I don't know. That's a little.
There's a lot of great solos in that song.
I
love solos before the first vocal. I love that. And
awesome.
It's like the Michael Schenker. It's like the Michael Schenker thing, right?
Yeah. No, that's
I like a song where like the vocal doesn't come in for like a minute and a half. I love it. I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, fun. I like this. Yeah. So we've been open shows with that. That's been a good song.
It's cool.
Did you kind of use the line "Mother Mary comes to me" as almost a nod to that Beatles song, or was it just a lyric?
Just a lyric. But that's what the Beatles song is, right? Is that what it's saying? Mother Mary. Yeah, yeah. Wow. I never thought of that actually. So
How do you think you would fare during a zombie apocalypse?
Well, I do good until I run out of ammo, I guess. How
Yeah.
about right? All good until we run out of ammo.
Yeah.
I always do the Shaun of the Dead things. Everybody was decapitating him with vinyl.
Sword. You got to get a sword. That's it. Yeah.
You need a sharp object, definitely. Yeah.
What's that?
A sharp object. You need an axe or something. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a crossbow. Something.
I've got one of those already.
Oh, good. All right, then. You're set. Yeah.
Another favorite track was Eye of Glass. Again, so many guitar solos. I kind of like the way in the beginning they kind of sound almost like bagpipes. Was that kind of what you were going for there? Or?
I don't think so. No. but I don't know, just setting the mood, I guess, So
kind of a droney atmosphere, yeah.
Yeah, but, just yeah, it's actually like a waltz feel, that song.
Yeah.
So,
I guess it was the war kind of feeling made me think of the bagpipes across the moor,
Yeah. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's march. Yeah. George.
Yeah. So it looks like you guys played MDF in 2022, right?
We did, yeah.
What was that like? We're big fans. We're big fans. We're Baltimoreans, so yeah.
Yeah, we love to play it again too. It was good. It was good. Gary came down. He played that with us too.
Oh,
so
cool.
Having that was a good show. That was a really good show. We had a good time there. It was
great.
Some guy jumped off the building like hours before.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, it was not good. So. But
wow.
it was good. Yeah. So
it was wild this year. Like they had, the two stages and you had to cross the road. And right in the middle was this building that there was like half demolished. I'm like, what a perfect backdrop.
Yeah, it looked like it was part of the show, kind of.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Like the first Death Angel album with the destroyed building, the ultraviolence. It looked like that. Yeah. It was really cool. Yeah. It fit right in with the theme of the show, theme of the festival. Yeah.
It was planned, but I was like,
it was really cool though. Yeah. We took pictures in front of it and stuff. Yeah, it was cool.
Oh my God. And the one poor guy was selling merch and he had all his shirts on the ground and we're like, they didn't tell him he had to bring a table. And we thought, day two, he'll bring a table. He did not bring a table.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna tell you guys. Yeah. You guys can set up and stuff like that. I don't want you to stay out. We're at rehearsal. I just want to tell them they can set up. So
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. All right. Good. Nice.
Well, we play a game on the show.
Okay.
So hopefully you'll enjoy this. The game is called Blaspheming Monikers. Okay. So here's how it works. I have 5 band names in front of me.
Okay.
One of them I made up. So you're gonna have to guess which one of these is fake.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We'll just keep guessing until either you get it right or I run out of bands. Okay. Okay. Black Antlers, Black Comedy, Black Flame Eternal, Black Ancestry, and Black.
Which one is a fake one?
Which one's fake?
Black Ancestry.
Oh, no, that's a real one. They're thrash from Italy. They have 2 EPs.
Really? Oh, wow.
Black Ancestry. So that leaves Black Antlers, Black Comedy, Black Flame Eternal, and Black.
Black Antlers.
Black Antlers is black metal from Croatia, and they have 7 albums. They're all EPs.
What?
So that leaves Black Comedy, Black Flame Eternal, and Black.
All right, Black Flame Eternal.
There you go. You got it. That's right.
Really, I
Made up. Yep.
Be already. That's
he sniffed it out.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
some of these band names I see, I'm just like, really? Did you take 5 minutes to come up with a name?
Yeah. Wow. And they got 7 albums, nonetheless, right?
Right. Exactly. And it's just like, and like, who in the band went? That's it. That's the name.
Got it. Right.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Antlers are big in black metal. They're everywhere.
Yeah, Black Antlers. You could see them being in like. I would think they'd be from like Portland or something. Like yeah.
So you have a lot of big festivals and everything coming up. What's the craziest fan interaction that you can recall? I'm going to guess Europe, but I could be wrong.
Craziest fan interaction. Yeah. Craziest fan interaction. I don't know. I remember it now. There was these guys from Australia. I'm not going to name any names, but they knew everything about me. I mean, they knew the words better than I did.
Wow. Yeah.
I actually had to scooch out of there. Because at the end of the night,
Yeah.
Irish goodbye, because it was like, ooh, they were.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Everything. He knew what I ate. He knew like everything. And I was like that. Maybe that's that. But other than that, I mean, I've signed everything. Body parts for everything before. It's been things. So some things I probably can't speak about.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, your top bureau drawer, it's too full. You should do something.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little creepy. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that in Germany, like the men will come up after your show and go, "We have a problem. You did not play my wife's favorite song."
Oh yeah,
They're very serious about this. Like they're fucking fanatical in Germany.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 And you're like, "Sorry, dude, show's over."
Yeah. 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 I mean,
sorry, Hans.
A lot of drunken people too, all over you, and
yeah,
that's fun, but it's been
confusing you with another band, being like, "I love Hallowaits, it's great." You're like, "That's not us, dude."
Oh yeah, I have, but
yeah.
So you have another huge festival in August, that Brooklyn Monarchs thing. God, I'm so tempted to go up there for that. Deceased, Nasty Savage, Morbid Saint. Who are you kind of most looking forward to checking out there?
Well, I mean, we're friends with Deceased, and we played with Nasty Savage out in Tampa, so it's fun to see them. And then Dave was from Nasty Savage, gave a little contribution to our album on there, but he's not playing with them anymore, actually. But so I wanted to see them and see what Ronnie does, and just based kind of all the guys too. And
is Nasty Savage still doing the Smash the TV thing? Are they?
Oh yeah, he's bleeding all over. Yeah, I was like,
you got to do the TV thing. Yeah.
But he had a good gash on his head. And
yeah.
Bleeding, and I'm like, really? I mean, okay.
Forget the sound.
Yeah,
Smash the TV.
I do like the music while he's doing his little sticks. Keep rolling on the thing, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, and of course, like Deceased. We've had King on the show too. He's a good friend of ours. I love when he says, "This song goes all the way back to when I had hair."
Yeah. Oh,
he's hilarious.
Hair to me. So then I can really say that.
Well, all of us can check it.
Nothing. So.
That's awesome.
It's all good.
So what else is coming up next for you guys?
Well, we're off on Friday to Canada for 2 shows.
Wow.
So that's we're looking forward to that. And then we're Czech Republic after that. And then I think we have one in DC.
Okay.
And that's it for the year. So that's actually pretty busy, and working on some new music, and that'll be the focus after that. So
that's great.
Get through the holidays.
So, well, congrats on the new album, the tour, and the band sounds better than ever. So good for you guys.
Yeah. We're loving it, having fun. Love the new songs and what we're playing, and we'd like to incorporate more. And we may. We're on the edge of putting the Chosen into the set, so
awesome.
We haven't yet. But yeah, that's it right now. That's busy. It doesn't sound like much, but it's busy.
No, it's great.
Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah. No, it's great.
Yeah.
No, it's great to have you on the show, and I'll let you get on with your rehearsal. It sounds like you guys are ready to go. So
pretty soon. Adam's in the back. Let me say hello to Adam.
Yeah.
Drums.
There you go. There he is. Yep. Hell yeah. Oh yeah.
Fingers. Hello, good evening. Camera again. All right. So
love the
Cool.
red drums.
Yeah, cool looking red drums. Yeah.
or actually, or Napalm Death drums.
Are they?
Yeah, because CJ used to roadie for him, tech for him, and they ended up leaving it here like I don't know, a decade ago or something like that. But he's friends with him. He's but they don't ever want back. I guess
That's
so.
great.
The CJ's drums.
That's great.
The
Good for him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They're coming back for him now.
No, definitely not.
Yep.
All righty, sir. Well, thanks again. Right. Enjoy your rehearsal. Appreciate it.
Thanks for this album.
The Sounds of Decay!
Okay. Sounds of Decay 1 is Spectral Wounds, Songs of Blood and Mire.
It occurred to me that black metal is a lot like a gymnastics competition. There are basic skills, the necessary compulsory elements required, but to really stand out, you have to have some tricks up your sleeve and maybe some signature twists to land a spot on the podium. Spectral Wound does all that to a most satisfying effect in this fourth full length for this quartet out of Canada, giving even the Norwegian teams a run for their money. A perfect example of this is the Horn Marauding, offering the black metal basics of the tremolo, oscillating riff synchronization of Patrick McDowell and Andres Arango, swirling with the ease of the guys on the pommel horse and making that crazy speed look just as easy. The blast beats of Illusory, Jordan Kelly, who sounds like a many-armed beast here, really sticks the landing with the doomier shift at the end. The warlock rasp vocals of Jonah Campbell add to the dramatic, delicious despair. His screams, the perfect added flourish, while the bass line of Sam Arsenu Roy is tension-filled as a slightly wobbly turn on the balance beam.
These analogies are just so perfectly aligned. So well done. Less and Less Human, O Savage Spirit kicks off with upbeat drums, sprightly tremolo guitar scales, and squalls that flow out as smooth and swirly, seamless as an uneven bar transition. Campbell's caustic, venomous yells over tremolo picking and the ever-violent blast beats builds the black metal fabric uniform to a T. That slow rumbling that warbles and shakes with the energy of a flapping floor routine pass. They have a neat move in this section when the riffs take on a string instrumental tone. Campbell's hellish screeches near the end of the back of the neck, hair-raising, as is the breakout break guitar solo that follows. Likewise, 12 Moons in Hell features insane fast minor guitar riffs, ripping off like cartwheels and drums that blast and accelerate quicker than the sprint down the vault. Howls resound with despair over guitar gloomy minor chord fest. All that is solid melts like flesh into the air. Gods dethroned, calling forth unmoored, vast, formless things.
My favorite track has to be aristocratic, suicidal black metal. Illusory smacking us in with some punchy drums that roll out as some super hooky oscillating riffs swing around like someone spinning on the high bar. Blast beats pummel in here and there, layered with vocal rasp, dripping its poison into the mix. When McDowell and Arango change up and settle into a chug, and then climb back into the melodic climbing notes, it scratches that black metal itch with their succulent, infernal din. The tempo shifts are as entrancing as the swings and pauses in a parallel bar routine. The Bandcamp page quotes the band as saying, "This album is music for the poison, the futile, the debauched and profane, the blooming of a flower of corruption torn by cold winds." I think once the scores go up for this offering, our smeary corpse-painted Canadians are going to be hard to beat in the black metal all-around.
Very good. Okay. Let's play a song. This is our aristocratic, suicidal black metal. Okay, Sounds of Decay 2 is Isaac Trillahum's Doth the Guy. I suppose the term avant-garde is French, after all defined as an experimental genre and the innovative artists who created it. Seen as genius or even controversial, these are artists that not just push the envelope, but they create their own entirely. From the country that brought us the wild experimentation of Deathspell Omega and Blut aus Nord, another gothic protege of black metal weirdness has been quickly churning out his mix of furious wrath and melodic languors.
This is his 11th full length since sliding out of the shadows in 2016 as a solo black metal project. These 7 epic tracks are in the toothy 8 to 15 minute range, so dim the lights and close your eyes, and just let these songs go through their movements and soak in the violence and softness. The tracks seem to me to move through chapters of sorts, often a second of a pause before the next movement begins. I had a few favorite tracks, although it was hard to choose. Ates Liberus, or Black Realms of Prismayush Tarth, sets off setting the mood with some uncanny organ-like synth lines. Aftergoal's vocals go back and forth from a deep gurgly growl to an echoey layered baritone that reminds me of the effect of ripples in a pond after a stone breaks the water's surface, as there are so many voices everywhere and overlapping.
The next shift is a more upbeat, sprightly synth tone like Coldplay wandered into the studio. The drums are at first a deep, solid pound before later erupting into blast beats. When this section comes with a chant-like vocal over the torrent of drums, the effect is reverent with a feeling of reaching sadness all at once. In yet another movement, Astrogul breaks out a newly acquired acoustic 12-string for some jangles and strums before the demonic vocals return, bringing back with them the chaos once again. I was wondering if the harpsichord planks were his newly acquired instrument, the Swedish nyckelharpa, as it wails with the guitar in a delightful duet.
Lyskirches Spasmodus, or near-death experience, has the unnerving juxtaposition of jangly, lively guitar while the vocals move from a lamentful yowl to a hiss. Blast beats eventually blow up with rollouts over panicky guitar riffs. Another chapter features pounding drums, paired with a nyckelharpa. Vocals alternate between the echoey layers, throat gargles to screams near the end of the track that sound like someone being chased by a chainsaw-wielding maniac. The din of the organ synths with the blast beats underneath seems like when an analog radio was dialed between 2 stations, trying to play both at once. The closing track has the award for the most musical changes. Azrael, the mystical radiance of the eternal path. The plodding, plucky synths over drum rolls with that echoey, rippled vocal is ghostly and dreamy. Later blast beats and chants gives way to a synth melody in a Middle Eastern style-esque moment. Later the drums prattle off like an AK assault rifle, paired with a moody electrical guitar song.
I tried to see if I could translate the song titles, but Google Translate was at a loss. Turns out he invents his own words, sometimes using demon names combined with other parts of other words. Honestly, I don't think this man ever sleeps or isn't compulsively creating at all times. He even did the cover art, which he calls a naive painting, which I think captures all the many moods and movements. As the longer you look at it, the more hidden demons and symbols are uncovered. So take a sidestep into the dark world of our French cape-wearing, goatee-sporting DIY guy. It's a step into another path. To borrow from Robert Frost, the path that is less traveled by, and that, my metal friends, has made all the difference. This song is called Altus Liberus, Black Realms of... Oh, God. Okay, Sounds of Decay 3 is Aetherix, Death is Absent.
Finnish duo formed by lone members Gull and Exile in the winter solstice of 2016. Aetheric have proven to be quite prolific, as this latest album is already their 5th full length, with 6 lengthy songs spanning 43 minutes. The duo shows a flair for keeping things interesting without moving too far from largely orthodox black metal tendencies. Vocals are consistently haggy and full of witchy rasp, grim and uncompromising. Yet, these two show a knack for building a huge sound with big booming drums, aggressive double pedal workouts, and sweeping grandiose guitar solos, proving this duo to be the standout in a genre crowded with competition. No production credits are listed, but one would be remiss not to mention the expansive cinema-like arrangements and their knack for building crescendos and track after glorious track.
It's not all 1,000 miles an hour blast beats either. Take a cut like Midwinter Masks, easing into a smart mid-tempo pace with a blinking arpeggios sparkling over deft percussion, moving into an airy processional pace around the 3-minute mark, adorned by dramatic guitar noodling. If there is such a thing as a typical Aetheric track, the album opener may fit the bill, the 8+ minute epic, The Fire That Sires the Sun, tearing out of the gate at warp speed with dramatic keyboard and guitar melodies, dancing this way and that before settling into a slower tempo for the verses, adorned with a gorgeous piano melody, which really soars against the powerful vocal rasp on display. The ebb and flow of this track demonstrates the band's signature sound, taking time to stretch out with hooky guitar solos and synth interludes in a dazzling display of power and grace.
Impressive stuff considering how the band works so well within the genre confines, yet defies them with orchestral, adjacent melodicism, and superior production. Plus, take a look at that album artwork. Grab a copy of the vinyl, as all the lyrics are included. They're suspiciously absent on Metal Archives, as well as descriptions of who plays what.
Bummer.
Can't
Anyway,
see their faces. They're just robed black. There's no faces. We don't know.
At any rate, this song is called The Fire That Sires the Sun. Okay, we got it done. How do you like that? We talked about electricity.
Talked about fad foods and quick diets.
And why you shouldn't have sex, because you'll get AIDS.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. What an uplifting after-school experience that was. Yeah. That went really well with, what another experience I would have after school. My father was too cheap to buy the good mouse traps. So I'd come home and there'd be one with like his arm caught in the trap, running around in a circle. I had to finish it off. That was so fun.
Oh my God.
Then I went for an uplifting after-school special. This has been the Snaggletooth Decay Extreme Music Podcast. Special thanks to Adam from Blood Feast for appearing on the show. Snaggletooth theme by Gustav Jord of Defleshed. Sounds of Decay theme by Steve Rathbone of Lair of the Minotaur. Season 3 artwork courtesy of KC Angel. Sounds of Decay bands featured this week. Check them out. Aetheric, Izak Trilahum, and Spectral Wound. All content 2024, the Snaggletooth Decay Extreme Music Podcast.
Look, I'm inventing electric guitar.
Wow.
This is the Snaggletooth Extreme Metal Podcast.